Good morning, everybody. My name is Sergio, as you have seen. I am the president of the Brazilian Orienteering Federation. I was introduced to the IOF about 6 years ago when I became event advisor in Brazil. And since then, I'm involved with the development of our sport, not only in Brazil, but also in South America. So here today, we're going to present to you some challenges that we are facing right now in South America. South America has 12 countries, plus French Guiana that belongs to France. It's a territory. And orienteering is present in Argentina, Brazil, Chile, Colombia, Ecuador, and Uruguay. The other countries doesn't have any kind of activity, or at least known activities in orienteering. The first steps to organize orienteering in South America was started in 2016 when we created our working group during the South American Orienteering Championship. In fact, the South American Orienteering Championships were organized in Brazil since 1995, but only in Brazil. So, in fact, it was more than one event in Brazil than a South American competition. But for all those years, from 1997 to 2015, it was organized only in Brazil. So in 2016, we succeeded in organizing the first South American championships outside Brazil in Chile with the support of IOF. So there's a picture of with the flags of the participant countries. There were 13 countries, 6 from South America, and you can see the flags of other countries there. Right now, Uruguay is organizing the second official South America Championships in November from 8 to 11. And we organize IOF clinics in Ecuador and Brazil. In Ecuador this year for map making, course planning, and event advising. And in Brazil, 2 years ago, with Oiven Holt in mapping and event advisor also. And we have lots of efforts by Jose Angel from Spain, who is sitting there. And he's working a lot in countries where orienteering is not present. In fact, we are both working in different manners. He is working in countries where we don't have orienteering, and I am working in countries where we do have orienteering. So 2 different works. The main challenges that we have right now in South America are lack of knowledge in map making, course planning, event controlling. Because without maps, as you know, we don't have orienteering. So teaching map making is difficult, learning it is difficult, and doing it is also difficult. So this is one of the biggest problems that we have for official competitions. We have seen here that it's possible to organize orienteering in several different manners. When we come to official competitions, we need good maps, and we need map makers. And this is a problem that we are facing right now. It's not in Brazil. Brazil, we have a lot of map makers because we are working on that for over 20 years. But other countries, they are facing difficulties in this matter. And also course planning, because understanding how to plan a course, especially for beginners, is difficult. So sometimes people have kids and newcomers in an event, but the course planning is a disaster. The course planners think like this is a competition for elite runners or for somebody experienced and make mistakes, and that person comes once and disappeared. Now, so event controlling for official events like such championships. And also have lack of equipment. The equipment is expensive. For example, in my country, the government taxes about 100%. So we buy one, pay 2. it's very expensive. I don't know the situation in other countries, but I know that it's quite similar. So buying an equipment to control an event is very expensive. And also a number of participants. So to have it presented in cities, we need more participants. So bringing people is also difficult. If you do not have maps, you do not have the knowledge for the other stuff related to orienteering, it's difficult. So this is the main challenges that we are facing right now. Let's see something about numbers in different countries. In Argentina, for example, we have 8 clubs, official clubs in the federation. About 350 orienteers registered in that federation. They don't have an official championships. They have only some events per year, about 8 to 10. They have about 5 map makers and 10 controllers for official championships. Of course, they organize events like the one in the picture there you can see, that are unofficial, but it's not much than those 8 to 10. Brazil has 146 clubs, about 7,200 official members last week, a national championship since 1999, 14 state federations with local championships. Brazil has 27 federations, and we are present in 14 of them. As you know, Brazil is a very large country. It's the 5th country in the world in size. We have about 159 orienteering competitions in this year, and over 17,000 starts this year. And also, you can see the picture of our team last year in the IOF World Championship in Estonia. So that was our first official participation as federation. So we were an outsider, as this year we came again. And we are planning to come next year and become this unusual participation in the walks. And this year we are here with a team in the World Cup for the first time ever. Chile has 8 clubs. It was the organizer of the South American Championships in 2016. They have an official championships and a national ranking, and they have about 12 official events per year with an average of 170 participants. Chile has improved since 2016 when they organized the South American Championships. So it's a good news that after that championship, they are growing in number of participants, not only in the competition, but in other activities as the World Orienteering Day. Colombia, I requested, but they didn't send any kind of information about their official numbers. I've been there twice for clinics in map making and event advising. I know that they have some activities in the military. They have national championships in the military, but not in the civilian part. So I don't have an idea about the numbers of civilian participants. Only the military, I know that they have activities in the 3 armed forces. Ecuador has 11 clubs, 300 to 400 members. This year, they organized their map makers commission and their controllers commission. They don't have an official championships yet. There is a promise to have it next year, or at least in 2 years in advance. You can see some pictures of the World Orienteering Day activity this year in a park, and this is part picture of a clinic that we organized this year there, and that picture of a clinic in map making organized in the countryside. Where was it, Carlos? The name of the city? Riobamba. It's about 200 kilometers from the capital, Quito. Uruguay is organizing South American Championships this year in a city named Minas, about 100 kilometers from the capital, Montevideo. They have 14 clubs, 352 members, no official championships, only some events organized during the year. So we expect that after this championship in November, they can have an official championship in the state, in the country, and start with clinics, initiation. They don't have this knowledge yet. They are just working with most of them are in the military, so they bring to the clubs their family members, their friends, so they are in the first steps yet. And for the future, I can tell you that the needs are in map maker, course planning, event control, event organization, but there is a lot of growing potential in South America because, you know, it's a large continent with large countries like Brazil with 220 million people. You have seen there that we have 7,000 people in a country like that. It's nothing. When you consider, for example, my city, I live in the capital in Brasilia, it's about 3 million people and about 600 official members. So for a city like that, it's nothing. So even though we are working, Brazil has about 1,000 people joining the federation per year. But at the same time, we are losing the same number every year. So we are developing, of course, but slowly. There is a lot of work to do. We need more support in those aspects. And I think that IOF can be more present in the near future to make this develop faster than it is right now. It is possible. I know that it is possible. Just looking back to 2016, and we can see that a lot of things were done from that year. In 2016, we didn't have, I can say, anything. But after the group was formed, was created in 2016, we start thinking about organization. So this is working right now. If we consider that we have this championship plan for this year, 2020, the South American Championship will be organized in Brazil, in the border with Argentina and Paraguay. So the idea is to have one course in Argentina, one course in Paraguay, one course in Brazil. That's the idea. In a city that is very famous for its high falls, Foz do Iguaçu, that's right in the border. So it's gonna be a nice place for this. This is planned for 2020. And we are now working for a country for 2022. Since the lessons that we learned with Uruguay are saying that we should start thinking about 4 years in advance to the next South American organizer. So I think that it will work. I think so. Well, this is what I have to show you. If you have some questions, it will be possible after Susan's presentation, right? Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. My name is Gabor. I have a question for Sergio concerning the number of participants, because you mentioned that in every year you can recruit 1,000 participants, but after you lose it, unfortunately. Do you know what is the reason why they quit the sport of orienteering?
It's difficult to say what are the reasons, because I think that's not only one. And we are trying to find the real reasons. But we organize newcomers clinics every year. I believe that about 2,000 people or 3,000 people take part on it. And about 1,900, it's the average in the last few years, join the federation to participate in official championships. But after 3 years, this is the average. After 3 years, when we will look to those people, about only 20% are still doing orienteering. Sometimes the reasons are economical, so it's expensive. Depends on the point of view, it's expensive. Brazil is a large country. To take part in a championship, for example, in a national championship, you're going to travel about 1,000, 2,000 kilometers. So you need to fly. So flights are expensive. In a state, you will drive 200, 300 kilometers for a competition if it's not in your city. And normally, as you can see, Brazil has about 5,000 cities. And we have 61 clubs. That's nothing. So if you live in a city and the championship is organized in another city, it's expensive, especially for kids. Fathers, the parents does not agree to leave the kids travel 200, 300 kilometers alone or with other persons to participate in a championship. So with time, they stop orienteering. So this is the challenge. So to have orienteering in more cities. So as soon as we got more cities with orienteering, this problem will diminish. But right now, each state has about 5 to 6 clubs. And sometimes one state is the size of the Czech Republic. A small state in Brazil has the size of the Czech Republic with 5 clubs only. So this is one of the reasons that I imagined. But it's very difficult to say the real reasons because we didn't have a pool to find out what are leading them to leave orienteering.
Okay, thank you very much.